All right, happy 4th of July, and welcome to what I'm going to call the July update of OpenMarch. I know I've been calling it the update of the month that had just passed. Usually, I know I'm a little bit late on this update, sorry. Um, but I'm just going to go ahead and this is going to be the July update. The next one is going to be the August update rather than calling this the June one. It was confusing me a little bit, and I'm sure confusing other people. So let's look at the goals that we left off with at the end of last month's update. We wanted to finish music implementation. If you remember, and if you watched it, we could play music. We wanted to allow ourselves to import MusicXML files to kind of build a structure of pages, and we wanted to do a lot more things, making sure music files are playing correctly, making sure the timeline was cleaning up, and make sure we could have continuous playback rather than playing one page at a time. I can now say that OpenMarch is able to do all of these things. Not perfectly, not very cleanly. There's a lot of bugs. But if someone who is very brave wanted to design a show using OpenMarch, they could import their MusicXML file, they could import their MP3 file, and they could design a show. Granted, only with a college football field. Granted, not a lot of alignment functions, but like it's literally it could do it, which is really a huge step. So let's hop into it, and I'll show you exactly what I've done here. So first of all, we're going to create a new show. Let's do July update. And you'll notice down here,
welcome to what I am
whoopsie. You'll notice down here, that was a previous take. You'll notice down here that we have these boxes here. Here, let me create a few pages first. Perfect. So we have two boxes, and let me just create a marcher. Let's do a flute. Boom. Okay. So we have these measure boxes, and we have these boxes on top. These bottom boxes here with the numbers indented to the left are measures. These, you can't click on them, you can't do anything, they're just here. And these gray boxes above them, if you can see, I can't really zoom in on this, unfortunately, but these gray boxes are the counts. So you'll see there's 4 gray boxes here, 4 here. And this is just the default measures that the thing has. So we have 8 measures here, all of them in 4/4, and all of them quarter note equals 120. Now I could change this to, let's say I wanted measure 8 to be 6/4. You see at the bottom here, it just kind of expanded by 2 counts, but you'll notice that the page with it didn't expand. Now that's not a bug, it's kind of a feature. I'm not going to really call it a feature, but the idea that I had was that pages and measures are going to be separate things and are kind of gonna be linked in more of like a pointer relationship. Let me explain what I mean. So if you're a drill writer and you get music that you want to write, you know all the tempos, you know all the measures, and you are building pages on top of that. Originally, the pages were the thing in OpenMarch that contained the tempo. Like page 1 would have, I would go into pages and there would be like tempo here, there'd be time signature. But the more I thought about it, the more it didn't really make sense. So now you define the tempo for each page, and that just fits into the counts on that already exist in the measure. So for example, if we have 2 4/4 bars, page 2 should be 8 counts. But let's say I want it to be page 2 to be 3 bars. Well, I would just change it from 8 counts to 12 counts. And you see, it jumped like that. But I could, if I really wanted to, make it 10 counts. And then, boom, that's right there. Now, it also does, now see how we're over here. This creates kind of this independent relationship with, you can have, like the page just kind of morphs to whatever, the page just morphs to whatever the measures are. So it doesn't matter. It's the page 2 just is 10 counts. It doesn't matter if it's 10 counts at 120 BPM, 120, or at 100 BPM, or like if it's half note equals quarter note, or quarter note equals, or half note equals 120, or quarter note equals 120. Let me show that example really quick. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that this is 4 pages. Let's say page 2 is is you just want it to be, let's make it 8. Let's say you want page 2 to be measure 1 and 2, but we don't want it to be 4 or 8 counts. We want it to be half, like we want the steps to be on the half note. So instead of, like, it would be like a bar of 2 2. So let's do that. Let's change measure 1 to 2 2, and let's change measure 2 to 2 2. You'll notice that nothing down here really changed, and that's not because there's a bug. It's because what OpenMarch actually cares about is this beat unit idea. This is like the quarter note equals whatever, or this is that stuff. So if we wanted the same thing, let's just see what happens if we change half note equals to 120. You'll see that it all crunched down into here, but if we do quarter, it does that. Now if we do half note equals 60, see how that changed? Half note equals 60. See how bar 2 here, it's instead of having 4 boxes, it's going to have 2. Now, there's a few bugs that have just been happening, but now page 2 has expanded. Page 2 has not changed from 8 counts. So before it was 8 counts and it was bar 1 and 2, but now it's 8 counts and it's counting these as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then only 4 counts have been taken up, so it's that. So we'd have to change it to 4 counts. This is effectively 4 halftime steps. There's going to be a better way to do this, but I'm just doing it to demonstrate like what it can do. Now, obviously, you would start with some sort of measures that were defined probably in a MusicXML file. You can do that. If I import a MusicXML file, where is it? This is a MuseScore rendition of Cadets 2016 that I took off of MuseScore.com. Thank you to whoever wrote this. Sorry. And when I import it, this is basically all of Cadets 2016, and the MusicXML has been parsed and translated into a notation that OpenMarch can read. You'll see none of the pages changed. But like page 2 is still 4 counts. This is still 8 counts. But the measures under it did. But we still need to do one more thing. We need to import the actual music. We import a new audio file. I think it's this one. Open, and then something happens. And then if we play this, and this might be really loud, now you can hear that's happening. So let me open a file that we had before. I think it's this one. Yeah, so if we check here, this is something I had before. Here is the continuous playback that I was talking about. This timeline, the darker color shows the page that it is currently on. So we are at page 9 right now. And what is about to be performed is everything that it takes to get to page 10. So this is page 10. This is after another 8 counts. If there was a red marker here, these 4 boxes would be going. And it keeps going, it keeps going. And see, it stopped because this was the last page. And now I could create a new page with like 8 counts and see how it's popping up. Maybe I want 4 counts. Maybe I want 12 counts. And you can go at it. My future plan, this is a bit clunky right now, I know. My future plan is to have eventually like a button right next to the last page, and it would be like add a page that fills in the next 2 measures, or add a page that does this, add a page that does that. Still a lot to do. In this demo that I've given, I've already seen like bugs that I've never seen before. So like I said, it works technically. It's not very clean. It's not polished. It's not perfect. But boy, is it a really big step. So I'm going to keep chunking away at this. As always, if you want to help out, please like find an issue, send me an email, do whatever you need or do whatever you'd like. but this is really, really, really making a lot of progress. Um, it's just slow because, again, this is just something I do for fun. So yeah, I hope this is exciting for all of you as it is for me. Um, I'm going to, by the end of the summer, I hope get an installable beta like ready. By beta, I should actually say alpha, because it's not really going to be user or production ready. It is just mostly going to be a toy. Um, but I do think it's important to get people actually using this. So yeah, that's all I have. Thanks for watching if you're here. And if you also have anything you'd like to talk about or let me know, that's also super cool. So yeah, have a happy 4th of July, and I will check in next month.